Okay, hello again, everybody. Now we're going to transition into the front-end app sync. Leo's going to give us some updates on what he's been working on regarding Subspace JS and anything with Polkadot.js or the relayer front end. All right, Leo, I'll turn it over to you.
Sure, I will share my screen. Maybe internet is really bad and I am in the center of the city. Well, I'm going to start with the latest updates in the relayer. I think that we had like a couple of days ago these three main issues that were not closed, and we already got it merged and published in the front end. So we basically updated this to have the latest parachains added to our archival, Kusama and Polkadot, all the ecosystems, and basically the latest requests in terms of front end updates. I'm going to share maybe this one. I think it is, yeah. So you were able to see the latest status of the relayer. This is the bar that you asked me to move to the center. And as you can see, we are now counting only the available chains in the ecosystem. This is the test A, the public environment right now. So it is also updating the latest feeds in the with the subspace hatch where it was included. And as you can see, it has this kind of live updates for each parachain. So this is the latest status of the relayer, and yeah, I think that's for from that point of view. I don't know if there is any questions to that.
No questions on my end, but great job on the UI. I like the way you did the way you switch between different ecosystems as well.
Yeah, this one doesn't have a Polkadot, and it's showing empty. I think that I have to add this validation in case we don't have an ecosystem, just hide it. And oh, this is the other thing that is working, the sort for the last block. Okay, so you can sort it for this parameter now. Yeah, I think that's from this point of view. And regarding the Polkadot apps, we launched this new farmnet, right? And we were needing to add these definitions for the farm subspace farmnet. Was really easy because we already had all the definitions. It was just adding a couple of lines to the Polkadot Explorer, and Jcore also made the merge really fast. So we have this available now in the test network where we have this subspace farmnet selector. So we can get in here and we have this farm RPC endpoint that is connected to a similar blue-green deployment in terms of machines infrastructure. So we have this farmnet available in Polkadot apps also. Like I said, it was a really fast update. There was no too many changes to show. Yeah, it
Question
was
on
just
that.
5 hours. Yeah.
I saw in your daily update that we have a FarmNet A and a FarmNet B.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the like just in case we need to do updates so that we can do a transition, like a smooth transition?
Yeah, in the similar way we are doing with the testnet.
Okay. Okay. I guess that's good to have just to make it more consistent, but I imagine it's going to be much easier to switch between those two networks, like A and B FarmNet, than it is between testnet A and B. Like if we need to spin up a new, like deploy a new instance, like it should just be like a few minutes to get like the new network ready.
Oh yeah, I made it, but I asked Nazar before applying that, and it was nice to have, so we decided to go for that way.
Okay, makes sense.
We also find some problems in the proxy DNS that are making and not able for people to join the network. So I was checking that in the last night, yeah, and I realized that we have this problem with the proxy when that is we need to fix some certificates problem in there. So when we have this proxy like activated, we cannot reach or make the handshake with the farmer machine. So we have to fix that. I think that I got how to fix it, and I will be applying those changes among other changes also to the Nginx configurations. Today I will be working on that. And yeah, I think that's from this point of view. I don't know if there are any comments.
I think the problem there, like, so if you enable proxy, it starts working in the Polkadot apps, but it doesn't work for joining. Like if you like a farmer node who wants to join the network, it will not work because you will reach the server of Cloudflare, and Cloudflare has no idea how to proxy this like custom protocol for nodes communication, right? However, if you disable it, then suddenly the node that we are reaching only has certificate for farm A, not farm RPC. So we probably need to just add two domains to the let's encrypt config. So it will issue two
Yeah, that's
certificates. Right?
was the first thing that I wanted to test
Yeah.
to just regenerate with Serbot and add this farm RPC
Exactly. Yeah, it should
to
just
the
work
list.
then.
Yeah, and that should work, right? And yeah, I don't know if there is any other comment about that. Because
Nope, looks
I'm
good to
going
me.
to be working in that. I hope to close those because it's affecting all the environments. So for testnet or farmnet, I think that with the DNS at least, nobody will be able to join with this proxy activated. So I will be trying to burn that today. And finally, can you see my screen in this one, in this other? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you can
Yeah.
make the text a little bigger.
This is the latest Webpack configuration that I have. It's really tiny. I was able to remove all unnecessary things. And with this, I am building a library in here, in this one, that is fully bundled and works for Node.js and for the front end. And also they updated these HTML examples with this new bundle. I will share these after updating some syntax things in here. But we are now able to connect also with this library to a public WebSocket, right in here.
Wait, the
And
idea was different. Like the Webpack config should have been in the application. The library was already defined the way it was.
sorry, I don't get it. I don't get that.
So the way library was designed was already defined, but if you need to use it like in the front end, then you need to use Webpack to like build the front end bundle. The library shouldn't be a bundle.
You mean with this HTML plugin and generate an HTML with the JavaScript inside?
No, it doesn't work like that. I sent you a link to example how it might work.
Yeah.
basically you have like a simple HTML page, and then you have some TypeScript or JavaScript file, and there are some dependencies, and Webpack will basically go through that and all of the dependencies of those, and it will bundle it to like one or several bundle files that will be loadable on the page. But the library itself shouldn't really be bundled.
Oh, I bundled everything to work with Webpack.
Yeah,
Just
it's
generate
not
just
really
one.
the way I meant it to be.
Oh, let's check that after this meet, because I will share that, and maybe you can send me that feedback in GitHub, because I was
Okay.
doing that, like trying to run a bundle that runs in every environment.
Yeah, you were previously using Browserify, and I said like let's not bundle it at all. Let's like just use Webpack inside of the application, but you like replaced Browserify with Webpack, but it's still bundled. Um,
Okay, okay. So the other part should be just built with TypeScript.
okay, we'll see in the pull request.
Okay. And yeah, I think that those are my updates. There are not many other things to talk in terms of front end. And I actually, closing this, I don't have too many things in terms of building something. Yeah. So maybe we can check the board that is also empty. And I just have some kind of pending things in the relayer board. But for the Polkadot apps or front end board is, I think that's everything close. No. Yeah.
What's the one
Can
ticket there
you?
that's in the backlog?
Oh, is this provide era and eon duration to the front end? And Nazar told me that we should wait a couple of days to, because this was changing right now, actually, to not duplicate effort on that.
Okay. So
But all the
Polkadot.js
other
apps.
things
Sorry, go ahead.
is like updated. Yeah, it's like,
Okay. So Polkadot.js
yeah,
apps is basically feature complete for what we want. Now it's just a matter of maintaining compatibility as we upgrade the client, the substrate client,
yeah.
or our node. Okay. Okay, great. Yeah, this project is basically, I don't want to say life support, but it's in maintenance mode right now.
Yeah, it's the main front end we have for now. So
Yeah.
yeah, it should work.
Okay.
Actually,
Do,
now that I realized that Jcore is it's available to put some runtime things in the code itself. I think that this provide error duration is similar to the block time. We just have to add our runtime variables to the component, and we should able at least to check the current progress that is in there. I think that it's the error or the epoch. I don't remember.
okay.
So if we got this clear, we should be able to add this progress bar to the front end, at least the current one.
Okay.
And for
Is
the
it,
relayer board, there are
hold
several
on,
tasks.
Leo. Let's
Oh,
talk
sorry.
about Polkadot.js just
Yeah.
for a second. Does anybody else have any feedback or comments or ideas on anything that was outstanding or that we need to update or improve on Polkadot.js?
Oh, I think that the logo in the sidebar, maybe we can ask Diana a minimal change for the farmnet, like an F, something like that, or maybe change, because
Yeah, I
there are
agree. I
two
think it would be
identically.
good
Yeah.
if we could have a branding between like the test net and the farm net, so it was clear. between the two for sure. Like different color,
Yeah,
slightly
will
different
look good,
logo.
I think.
Yeah, if you can reach out to her and coordinate that, Leo. I think
Yeah.
like probably green for the farm net and the color that we have right now for the test net. And then yeah, just like maybe a leaf or something, I don't know, in the logo, or like just maybe a green instead of black for the circle, something like that.
Yeah, sure. I will reach to Diana and create an issue with the idea. Maybe we can discuss or share the logo in there.
Yeah.
Confirm that.
Great. Okay. You want to transition to the relay?
Yeah, in the relayer there are just improvements in terms of the code, adding slints, continuous integration. Like Serge said, we should be able to add some test or unit testing at least in the front end. Maybe adding internationalization to cover at least 2 or 3 language would be simple. But these are just ideas that we talked like a lot of time ago that were now like a priority. But now that we have a relayer front end more stable, I can work in adding these improvements.
Which one do you think is the highest priority right now, Leo, out of what's in the backlog?
In here, I think that Slint and testings, these two ones.
Okay.
This one and this one.
Okay. Why don't you move those into your queue and start working on those?
Yeah, I think that I will move it to, how can I say it, to issues in Discord, in GitHub.
Yeah, and with the testing, like, let's not go
Discord.
overboard. So let's try to get the minimum set of tests that we need, the most important ones, like maybe like 1-2 days max on writing tests.
Okay.
I think CI will also go into there. Like once you have ESLint, you would want to run it on commits.
Okay. Yeah, because actually when I push changes to the front end, it runs CI stuff in the backend. Maybe there is a way to separate that.
There is. It's a little bit clunky.
Okay.
Okay. And Leo, if you get to the point where you've completed all these tasks before the next meeting, feel free to jump into the backlog and start working on what you think is next highest priority.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
and I think that I don't have many other updates because the other things are related to architecture. We can talk about it in the Monday call. Yeah, and not related to front end or storage API.
Okay. Let's talk about Subspace JS a little bit. We don't have a board for that, right? That's being tracked in GitHub issues.
Yeah, in GitHub.
Okay. We don't have any outstanding issues there right now?
Let me open. No. Okay. There is just one pull request that is a draft that I have to rewrite right now.
And what is that for?
For this one, for the build scripts
Webpack?
and yeah, for the Webpack.
Okay, so for Subspace JS, there's a couple different things that we can start working on. So there's integrations with two parachains. One is going to be Moonbeam, Moonriver, and the other is going to be StateMine or StateMint. And these are both on the NFT storage side. So I've talked to people at both teams, and they're interested in having like an initial call to sort of talk about it and like get their feedback on what the best way to do it would be, sort of demonstrate how you would do it on their chain. They're both just extremely busy right now because parachains are going live, in 2 days. So they're really just focused on that. So I imagine after the holidays, like after they get the parachains deployed and they get the initial, teething issues figured out, they're going to be more available. So I think really in about 2 weeks, we're going to be able to do like a demo of doing a DApp, like an NFT on StateMine, and something similar on Moonbeam, and figuring out like what the best way to present that to developers on those chains. Once we have that higher level integration done, then we're gonna reach out to some of the DApp teams. Like some of these projects. I think Remark, like RMRK, is the biggest one on. I think they're on StateMine, not Moonbeam, for example, and start talking to them. So this is another path that we're going to be doing, and then generally, like we also need to start getting some feedback from developers on Subspace JS as well. Which, like, similar to kind of what we're going to be doing with the farmer application, just a totally different audience, but same kind of idea where we're just trying to get some developer like user feedback on this API or this SDK, and like how clear it is, how easy to use it is, these sort of things. So those are going to be coming up like right after the holidays as some priorities to work on. So I haven't had a chance to play with it or look at it as much as I wanted to. I've been way too busy with the fundraising, but it's something which is like high on my priority list to do. Is to kind of like look at this in a little bit more detail, even try to build an app myself on it, just like a toy application, and see what it's like and give some feedback. Because I mean, when we did the initial version of this a couple of years ago, like I wrote all this myself. Like I wrote the JavaScript SDK, I wrote like all the documentation. So I had like a certain idea in my mind of like what I wanted, how I wanted this to work. And we had spent quite a bit of time talking to developers and like getting feedback on this as well. So this is something which is like near and dear to my heart. I just haven't had really the bandwidth to look into it lately. So I want to try to give you some more feedback before we go out and take this to the public. But that's all stuff that's on the roadmap here. But I think in terms of like where you're at, like we've got a really good like version to go out and start collecting feedback on. Okay. Any other comments from the group on Subspace JS? Okay. All right. Anything else we need to cover, Leo?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, great. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. And we will see you guys again next week with more updates.